Okay, hello everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Wanted to do a video to introduce the latest release of MiyoLinux, Miyo-i3. And I'm aware there may be a hum in the background of this video, and if there is, I apologize for that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to briefly go over basically what Miyo-i3 is, some of the features, and I have to say that I hope I haven't made the same mistake with i3 that I made last time. When I last released Miyo-i3, it was right about in that same window of time when Devlin was moving from Jesse to ASCII. And I didn't get many downloads of the i3 version, and I don't know if that was because people didn't want to use the Jesse version, or I don't know if it was because people just didn't like it. But here I am again doing the exact same thing. We're getting close to getting a release from Devlin for Beowulf, and I'm releasing an i3 version based on ASCII. So here it is. What I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly go over the basics of the release notes, show some of the features, and what I want to stress, just like MiyoLinux, the open box versions, and the awesome version, Miyo-i3 is basically intended for those who may be interested in using a window manager. They might be interested in i3, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. They're not sure if they're going to like it. So what I've done with all the Miyo releases, I try to make using a window manager a little bit easier. So what I've done with this release, you not only get D menu, which will appear at the top, we'll go over that, but you also get a graphical menu. In the previous release, I used a menu that was located down here in the system tray. You can see I have simple screen recorder running down here in the lower corner. But in this one, I'm using PMenu, and I have fallen in love with PMenu. I think it's a great menu. It works great in i3. It's worked great in everything I've thrown it on. Alright, so without further ado, here we go. We'll get started on it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to a different workspace so you won't get to see my lovely face any longer. Okay, here we go. Alright, now this is what you will be greeted with when you boot into the system. You have a basic conky, not much system information going on, because here in the bottom you have some system information, and you have some basic keyboard shortcuts. Now I do want to point out and stress, I chose the mod key to be Alt, and my reason for doing that is that there are some computers that don't have a Windows key. If you want to change that to the Windows key, it's very easy. I give instructions in the release notes. You get a couple of keyboard shortcuts here for opening up the different menus. Mod plus D will open up here at the top. It will open up D menu. Alt plus M, M standing for menu, will open up P menu, which is a graphical menu, somewhat similar in appearance to the LXDE menu. Now here are some things that I've installed that you won't get on your base installation. I've installed Xarchiver, Zarchiver, however you want to call it. I installed that. It's not on the system. Internet, I installed Firefox ESR. That's not on the system. Preferences, everything here is what you'll get. Conman UI, that's where you can set up your wireless connection. Customize look and feel, keyboard and mouse. Notifications, now I want to point out I removed Dunst for the notifications and installed the XFCE4 Notify D so that it would look just a little more modern. Let me give you those of you who may be familiar with XFCE4 Notify D, here's a notification preview. You see there? That's what notifications will look like. Okay. Let's open that menu again and I'll go over it. Sound and video, the only thing that is included in the base installation is PAVU control. I've added all of these other options, okay? And under system, everything here is what is included in the system. Alright? Now I want to talk about just a moment about PMenu. If you've noticed, it will open anywhere my mouse is. Let me put the mouse down here. I'll open PMenu again, and it appears by the mouse. Kind of like an open box setup. However, if you would prefer for it to open in a particular place, I do give an example in the config file. Let me open up the MiyoLinux Accessories. Come over here to i3 config. And let's scroll down and find that. Alright, here we have under Miyo specific keybinds. This is what it's set for right now. That's the one where it's going to appear wherever your mouse is. I give an example here for a fixed position. Now this example is set up for my particular screen size, and what it's going to do, it will open up PMenu down here in the lower left hand corner. So let me do that just so you can see. I'm going to comment out the one that's in use right now. I'm going to comment that one out, and I'm going to uncomment the one that's in use. I mean the one that's not in use. Alright, I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to restart Miyo-i3. And let me go to a different workspace. I'll go to workspace 5, and hopefully this is going to work and I won't embarrass myself. And there we go, it opens right there in the corner. Okay, I'm going to put my mouse way over here, open the menu, and it opens down there in the corner. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Just remember, you can change that around if you want it to open up in a particular position. Depending on your screen size, you might have to play around with these X and Y numbers right here. Let's see, let me try this real quick. See if I can make it open in the upper left hand corner. And let me preface this, I don't know if this is going to work right or not. Okay, and let me restart i3. Let me switch to Workspace 5 and open the menu. And it opened in the upper left-hand corner. Alright, so there you go. That's how that would work if you want to have a fixed position for the P menu. I give some general shortcuts. Also, let me point out this mod plus B that will open the browser. Now, depending on which browser you install, whether it's Firefox ESR or Chromium, whatever your system assigns as the XWW browser, that's what the keyboard shortcut is going to open. Now, out of the box, it's not going to work. If you install MiyoLinux and you push that key, nothing's going to open until you've installed one of the browsers, okay? I've just gone ahead and made that shortcut for convenience to help users out. Mod plus P will open up the file manager. Okay. Mod plus enter will open up the terminal. There we go. Alright. And speaking of that, that makes me think of something. Let me close these out. Where are those? Alright. Let's say, for instance, you want to have the terminal as a floating window. You don't want it to take up the whole screen. You want it to be floating. I've given some examples here, and you can uncomment these if you want to use them, but these are some examples. If you want LX terminal to float instead of taking up the whole screen, we just uncomment that, save it, and we will restart. Now, I want to point something out. If you're going to try this, I've done it with Audacious. It works with Audacious. It keeps it from taking up the whole screen. Make sure whatever application you're wanting to have as a floating application, it needs to start with a capital letter. Alright? These are examples. They also work if you uncomment them. But if you want to add one to this list, make sure you start that name with a capital letter. Alright, so now we're going to have LX terminal as a floating window. I've already saved it, so let's restart. And we'll go to Workspace 5 and we'll open up the terminal. And there we go. As you see, it's now a floating window. I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back to the list and I'm going to comment it back out again. Save it, restart, and go back to Workspace 5 and open the terminal. And now we have a full screen terminal again. Alright, now all you people who might be watching this and you're i3 gurus, that's not going to be much to you, but remember, I'm trying to help people who may be new to the i3 window manager. Mod Control A will open up Miyo Accessories. And here we have the Miyo Accessories. Now I have all of the like calendar. That's going to open up down here on the bottom. Let's open up the accessories again. Basically what I'm getting at is all of these on the left here and the live keyboard layout, they're going to be floating windows, okay? Let's turn on or mess around with Compton here. I have Compton running. I'm going to turn it off and back on. Okay. So all of those are working. You have the Miyo Accessories, and in a previous release of MiyoLinux, it was brought up, why is live keyboard layout still included after installation? And I did that for one main reason. There are people who need more than one keyboard layout. So I leave it on the system. I don't have it removed to help those people. Instead of having to edit some configuration files, hopefully they can just use this and switch between keyboard layouts. Alright? What else do we have? Print screen. We'll do a screenshot, and that screenshot will automatically go into your pictures folder. Mod 1 through 0 will switch desktops or workspaces. Mod Shift Q closes a window. Alright, here's one I made. Mod Control plus K will be the default keybinds. If you want to look and see what all the default key bindings are, you can do either through the Miyo Accessories. Let me open that again. Default key bindings. That does the same thing as what I have here, Mod Control plus K. Alright, close that. I'll do Mod Control K, and it will show a list of all the default key bindings that are included in Miyo-i3. Okay, what else do we have? Mod Control plus E is the exit menu. Blah blah blah. Shutdown Reboot. Now I want to point out, this is in the release notes. Hibernate. If you're using a laptop and you want to use Hibernate, you will have to install the Hibernate package. It's not working out of the box. Okay, we have logout and screen lock. Now I want to point out, if you click on any of these, it's going to happen immediately. You won't get any kind of a warning. Are you sure you really want to log out? You're not going to get anything like that. If you click log out, shutdown reboot, or whatever, it's going to do it right then and there. And I also have some keybinds for shutdown, reboot, and log out. And those keybinds are in the they're in the default keybinds that you can open up like we just did, or you can look in i3 config and see what they are. But they are Mod plus Control plus L will log you out immediately, no warning. Mod Control R will reboot, immediate, no warning. And Mod Control S will shut down immediately, no warning. Alright? And I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I were to put on the screen lock right now, I don't know if I'd actually keep recording. So I'm not going to do that. And I have a keyboard shortcut for it also, Mod Control X. And basically all the screen lock is, it is i3 lock. If you do the screen lock, you're going to be greeted with just this background minus the MiyoLinux logo. It's just this main background here. And all you do, if you're not familiar with i3 lock, all you need to do is type in your password and hit enter, and you'll come back into your session. Okay, so let's look real quick at the release notes, and I'll go over those. And they are located in the Documents folder. Oh, the update notify. I'm glad I saw that. Release notes. Let's open that with LeafPad. And I'm going to send this. Well, I'll send the notes to workspace 6 so that I can see them more clearly, and you can too. I'm not going to go over everything. In addition to D menu, it also includes P menu. I've already talked about that. Log out, restart, shutdown, warning. I've already talked about that, and what that warning is you won't be given any kind of a notification. Are you sure you really want to do this? If you hit the keybinds or you use the exit menu and click one of those, it's going to do it right away. The wonderful the wonderful Miyo startup sound is included out of the box. If you don't want to listen to that startup sound, just comment it out in the i3 config file. I have instructions on how to enable the firewall, i3 lock usage, which I just talked about, regarding the use of Compton. Now this is very important. If you want to use Compton, I have it on right now. I'm using it. If you want to use Compton, and let's say you open the Miyo Accessories, okay, I'm going to open that real quick, and you come over here to the Compton conf, and you want to let's say you want to try to modify that a little bit. Please make a backup of the compton.conf file before you try modifying anything. The use of Compton on i3 is very tricky, and you can make one little modification and basically render Compton unusable. So just do that. If you're going to try messing around with anything here, make sure you make a backup so you can replace it if something goes wrong, okay? Let's see, what else? The update notifier. Now, when I first started making MiyoLinux, I included an update notifier that would basically install the updates for you. I mean, it did take some interaction on your part, but it was a somewhat automated process. You just clicked a couple of buttons and updates were installed. Now, I went in and hacked on the code. I mentioned this in another video. I went in and hacked on the code so that it's just a notifier. It will no longer allow you to just click a couple of buttons and install updates. You still have to do that either through the terminal or through Synaptic. But what it will do, when the updater notifies you that updates are available, it'll put a notification on the desktop, and there will also be a notification down here in the system tray. And when you click on that notification in the system tray, that notification will disappear, but it will show up here another notification of the updates that are available. And that allows you to see what's available, and it lets you see, well, do I want to install this now? Do I want to install these updates now, or do I want to wait for later? So it's just a convenience. It's not something that's going to affect your system or accidentally install something maybe you didn't want to do at the time. It just lets you see what's available, and you decide if you want to go ahead and install them right now or wait till another time. Okay? The key binding for opening a web browser, I already talked about. How to change the mod key. Now, I basically talked about that earlier at the beginning of the video. If you want to change it to the Windows key, you can do that, no problem whatsoever. And I tell how to do that further down in the release notes. Volume control. What I have here, I'm using i3 blocks instead of the i3 status bar. And here, if you can see my mouse moving on the bottom of the screen, there's a musical note and a 45%. That's the volume control. And all you need to do is roll or scroll your mouse wheel up and down on that volume control to change the volume. Okay? I've already talked about Hibernate in the exit menu. If you want to use that, you need to install the Hibernate package. And I've already talked about the screenshot. Okay, so that's about it. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about anything. Hopefully the release notes will help you if you're new to i3, and hopefully Miyo-i3 will make that process a little easier for you. Okay, so that's about it. I know this was quick, maybe not quick enough, but Miyo-i3 is ready. There's a 32-bit, 64-bit, and a 64-bit EFI version available on SourceForge. I will put the link in the video description. So I hope you guys have a great day, and if you want to try Miyo-i3, I hope you enjoy it. Alright? Thanks a lot. You guys take care. And if you're still watching, I want to celebrate this momentous occasion of the release of Miyo-i3 with a little song on the toy guitar. Those of you who have subscribed to the channel, thank you. And I realize sometimes I'm a little wackadoodle and act a little foolish, but hey, that's me. Okay? And in honor of my foolishness, I thought it might be a good thing to take you all on a ride of the Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train on the toy guitar. However, we're gonna play it honky-tonk Miyo style with a little blues influence. Oh yeah. So here we go. In other words, we're gonna play a little bit of Crazy Train Miyo style on the toy guitar. So here we go. Are you ready? We're going off the rails on the crazy Miyo style honky-tonk blues train, yeah. Ow! Ozzy Osbourne would be impressed. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great weekend, and hope you take care. Thanks for sticking around if you stayed long enough to watch this.